Hello and welcome to another episode here of Verns Valley. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Tuesday and a fabulous start to the work week. Yesterday was Friday for me. I got off work, did some storm chasing around here in Mankato, and we did happen to bag a tornado yesterday. So that puts us at nine tornadoes for the year already, guys, and it's only the middle of June. We're just hitting peak season for Minnesota, and this weekend will most definitely feel like peak season for storms. So we'll be deep diving in for this forecast. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, guys, look to be a widespread severe weather event. I almost want to say the word outbreak. Now, my personal opinion, the word outbreak has been used a lot this year, and especially last year. Last year was, a given, but this year has been definitely saturated, the word outbreak. But I definitely believe Friday is unfolding to be a massive tornado outbreak. So we'll be using the NAM right now. With this first part, we'll be jumping to the GFS and the Euro model for Saturday and Sunday. This NAM only goes out to Friday night, Saturday morning. So that's the reason why we're using the NAM. So if you don't know, the GFS and Euro model is kind of like a 10 to 15 day outlook. And then as we get closer to that said day, the more accurate models start to come out. So like the NAM will come out, and then like tomorrow evening, like the NAM 3 kilometer will come out. So that's a little bit more accurate than the NAM. And then obviously as we get to like Wednesday or Thursday, I should say, then we have like the most accurate data coming in for Friday's event. So as you can see here, these are the surface winds. We have a major 990 low pressure system coming in off the Rockies, guys, setting up over North Dakota and South Dakota. So as you can see here, these southerly winds cranking up from the southern high plains, bringing in all that moisture from the Gulf of America. And as you can see here, as soon as these winds change, as you can see here, coming from the southeast, and then directly change to the east. This right here is the warm front. Right where those winds change, that is the warm front. You have the low pressure system right here, and then the cold front is right here. So you just have to look for the wind change, guys. So this whole environment right here is setting up to be a volatile setup. So I just want to show you that. We need dew points, guys. We need that very unstable atmosphere, the instability. The higher the dew points, the closer the cloud bases are to the ground. So it doesn't require that much for the tornado to reach out per se and touch the ground. So as you can see here, 73 I should say for Mankato, 76 up here towards St. Cloud. What's up here, like Fargo right here, just on that warm front sector. And so if you guys have watched my previous videos, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, we need the lifting mechanism to create storms. So a low pressure system, right, which is what we have. So there's 3 parts to a low pressure system: the warm front, the triple point, and then the cold front. So like I said here, warm front is right here, right where these winds change. The low pressure system is right here, the triple point, where everything comes together. So you follow these winds, go from the southeast, east, and then right here from the northwest. So right here is the low pressure system, pardon me. And then that cold front, as you can see, is kind of placed kind of right here, right where this dry air starts to impede on this warm moist air right here. So that's what we're looking at for dew points. Gonna be muggy as shit, guys. Pardon the language, but if you think these last couple days are bad, you wait. So Cape values, right? We need at least 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram to create a decent thunderstorm, to have a little bit of tornado risk, okay? 1,000 to 1,500. 5,000 Cape, guys. This is what they're forecasting here, okay? Absolutely incredible. Yesterday's setup was around 3,000 to 4,000 Cape, so we're looking a couple extra thousand maybe for Friday. So as you can see here, these are hodographs, and they depict how the rotation, I should say, how the wind changes with elevation, with height. So as you can see here, the pink line right here is the surface winds, kind of, maybe 1,000 feet up, and then the red is the mid-level winds, And then these are the upper winds, like the 500 millibars, super high up, the jet streak winds up here. So as you can see here, the full curve, full curve in the atmosphere, guys. So as you can see here, a very volatile atmosphere for tornadoes all along this warm front. So if you're in northern Minnesota, I would definitely watch out. You will hear this a lot, okay? And I know you've heard this a lot. The cap, okay? Now right here, we're gonna look at a sounding, and I will show you exactly what I mean by a cap. So now just think about, you have a boiling pot of water with a lid on it, right? You have all that energy inside, all that steam, all the bubbling water, and you have the lid on. It has nowhere to go, right? That is the cap. That's what happens with thunderstorms, okay? If the surface is cooler than the if the surface cooler than the atmosphere above, obviously no storms can rise, right? Because warm air rises. So if the sun comes out like it did yesterday and it bakes the surface, right, and it heats it up warmer than the atmosphere above, you have these rapid thunderstorm development, okay? Rapid updrafts. So now as you can see here on this sounding, right where this temperature line comes out and touches this dash line, okay? That's where the warm part of the atmosphere is. So that's where your cap would be. So this dash line is, I'm gonna forget this. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. Why the dash line? Dash line's your cape. I know that. That's all the energy in the atmosphere. I just forget what the scientific term for it is. I'm having a brain fart. Forgive me. But basically, oh no, that's the air parcel. Forgive me. This is the air parcel. But it's the cape, because cape is measured on how fast an air parcel can rise in the atmosphere. So if you have almost 6,000 cape, that air parcel can rise very, very, very quickly. So that's what that is. So if this temperature would come out a little bit more, actually, we can dial this back an hour, a couple hours, and we'll click on this here. As you can see right there, that cap is in place. So that air parcel cannot rise. It stops right there because that temperature is warmer. That is a very good example. So then, right, the sun comes out, you give it a couple hours to bake the surface. Here, we'll click on somewhat that same area, hopefully. And as you can see here, that temp now is back. So now the surface is warmer than the air above it. So that's why you'll have these rapid updrafts. So with that, guys, with all my storm chasing career, all my expertise, if you have an environment like this, with the cap, just like that, if you don't have a wide open, you just have a very tight cap breaking, you have very discrete supercells. So that is what this model is depicting, guys. This is not a mesoscale convective system, a bowling line. This is a very discrete setup. So this is a very, honestly, I don't even know what to say. When I kept seeing this and then the NAM came out and then I saw all the photographs like this is absolutely insane, guys. You have 0 kilometer surface winds coming from the northeast. Yeah, northeast, okay? And then as you get to the 1 kilometer, they switch to the south. And then as you get to the 2 kilometer here, you can correlate this over here with the numbers. You get to the 2 kilometer, it goes to the southwest, and then eventually to the west. So that is a whole mofo rotation in the atmosphere. See here, probable hazard type tornado, classical supercell. As you can see here, down here, basically just states, if you follow the red line, these are the winds. So the winds are very strong here at the surface, and then as you get higher up, they're a little bit weaker, and then it really cranks out. You just can see classical super. You see that anvil right there. It's absolutely beautiful. So, guys, keep an eye on Friday, and I truly mean this. Tomorrow, the SPC will come out with a day 3 outlook and hopefully highlight a broad section here, because this is absolutely unbelievable. So if you're in North Dakota, honestly, I can't even say anything right now, because wherever the low pressure system sets up, wherever that warm front sets up, that's where how everything will come together. if the sun comes out, if the cap breaks, we could have a absolutely I honestly could believe this could be a historical day on Friday if everything comes to fruition. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, these storms, why didn't they fire? I'm telling you, if the sun does not come out, nothing will happen. As you can see here, convective temp. So basically it states we need at least 102 degrees for a convective thunderstorm to happen. So, and it says maximum temp. Oh, maximum temp is 95. That basically states to me that the cap is in place. Right here is another great sign of that cap holding place. So as you can see, the air parcel rises, follow that dashed line, hits that temperature, temperature right there. I can't come up with another scientific term for that, but stops right there. That cap is in place. These storms will not rise. But with how much cape we have and how much rotation, how much rotation we have in the atmosphere, honestly, it might not even matter. These storms just might erupt. But if I was storm chasing, I would be targeting this warm front sector right here. Probably better off closer to the low pressure itself. Look at that PDS tornado. That is an absolutely insane photograph. So real quick side note, you have these absolutely incredible thunderstorms, right? They ingest warm air. As you can see here, this whole 90-degree angle is the updraft. So you have warm air getting ingested from the storm, and then you have the upper winds of the atmosphere carrying that moisture away from the updraft. So as you can see here, these upper winds from, like, let's say 3 to the 6 kilometer, you can just correlate this here from 3 kilometer, 6 kilometer. This really amplifies the motion of the storm. So as you can see, this little square right here, right where my mouse is, this shows me where the storm motion is. So all these storms will be going northeast, east. So again, this will be a wicked setup for Friday, guys. I'm just throwing it out there now. A tornado outbreak might be possible all along this warm front sector and along the warm front, the cold front, and the triple point. So very volatile setup coming Friday, guys. Just be due diligent, because things could get crazy. Forgive me, the dog wants to get out. Normally she sleeps in here with me. I guess she doesn't like the storms for Friday. Well, it's too bad. So we will jump to Saturday, forgive me, because Saturday looks to be also an interesting setup. Alright guys, so we're jumping over to the GFS. This is for Saturday's setup. So we still have a lot of cape, not as much rotation. I mean, there's still quite a bit of rotation in the atmosphere, but not as violent as Friday's setup. So we still have 5,000 cape. Like I said, you need a 1,500 to have a very good thunderstorm. So there'll be a lot of energy in the atmosphere. Now that does not mean storms will fire. So we all have to break that down. So we'll definitely have enough moisture, enough dew points. So for all you folks this weekend enjoying windstock, 75 for dew point Saturday, 75 for dew point Friday. Sunday's looking the same thing. So it's going to be hot, humid, absolutely miserable, guys. I don't know if you quite remember what a 75 dew point feels like last summer, but does not feel pleasant. So let's see here. Let's see if storms will fire now. We have 5,000 cape. We'll see what Supercell Composite brings up here. Now, see, look at that. Very spotty. Nothing down here in southern Minnesota. Very big blob up in central North Dakota. So let's see what happens here in Meeker County. So look at that. Very dry in the atmosphere, as you can see here. 76 for a dew point, 87 for a temp. I like to have that, like I said, as close as possible, so it keeps this LCL, the cloud base, as low as possible. There is rotation in the atmosphere, the south winds, and then as you go up southwest, and then you can get up in the atmosphere almost westerly. So, but as you can see here, a very big cap in place. These storms probably will not fire. As you can see here, probable hazard type nothing. So even this sounding here is causing that cap to hold. So even with, that's 14 for a supercell composite. That was not Meeker County, by the way. This is like Brainerd. We'll go over here by Big Stone, see if it's any better. Excessive heat. So that's what will happen, guys. A big heat hazard on Saturday, I guess. You still have these very good hodograph, but again, very strong cap. Very warm in the upper parts of the atmosphere than it is down here. But as you also can see here, convective temp, it needs to be 113 degrees according to the sounding, and it only reaches 109. Excessive heat. So actually, we will jump to, since it is excessive heat, I wonder what the heat index will be for Saturday. Holy shit! 110 for Fargo? Alright, guys, it's going to be hot. Almost 103 in the cities on Saturday. Good lord. You guys are going to be baking like fish out there. It's going to be a nice cool day at work, I tell you that. That's great. So hotter than shit on Saturday. So that will definitely, so we get hot days like this, guys. Storms typically struggle to fire because of the cap placed in the atmosphere. So we'll jump over here real quick back to the soundings. We'll go up here to the warm front, where it's a little bit cooler. Still nothing. Very strong cap. So doesn't look like anything will happen Saturday, guys, due to the excessive heat. So maybe Friday's looking just to be the main event. But again, that moisture hangs out all weekend, guys. All weekend. So we'll do a forecast loop here. We'll show you. So this is for Tuesday night, which is right now. And as you can see, we kind of get a little break Thursday or tomorrow night, and then Thursday morning. But that low pressure system starts to crank in Thursday night. Actually, I don't know why I haven't been talking about Thursday. We'll talk about that. But as you can see here, low pressure system comes in Thursday. We might have a little bit of severe storms Thursday in north central Minnesota. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. It's more accurate weather models come out. Like I said, the HRRR, the NAM 3 kilometer. But as you can see, Friday morning, these southeasterlies start to come into play. That low pressure system's already setting up over the Dakotas. And holy smokes, I jumped way too far ahead, giving everyone, I already spoiled it all. But as you can see here, by Friday afternoon, we have the upper 70 dew points. And as you can see, these easterlies cranking into that low pressure system. And then you have the cooler, dry air, right on the back side of this. So very violent setup for Friday. And then as you can see, that low pressure system just hangs out. And this is Saturday, still humid and muggy, very hot. And then Sunday, same thing again, guys. This is for 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Sunday, still 75 dew points. It is going to be a hot and miserable weekend. Very stormy. So we'll see actually what the what Sunday's setup looks like here. Oh, I swear every time I try to do these videos, this thing takes forever. There's Fridays. Here's Saturdays. Now let's look at Sundays. Look at that. So this is 7 p.m. As you can see here, pretty good rotation right here, right at the triple point as that low pressure system finally moves out of Minnesota. Still a really good cap in place. Marginally severe. Not much rotation in the atmosphere, but definitely could be stormy, especially as that low pressure system moves out, guys. Look at that. We'll actually look at the dew points because that would be a very much clear visual as that low pressure system moves out. So this is Sunday night, guys. Look at that. That low pressure system will move out finally kind of Sunday. This is Monday night. It just takes its sweet time, and we kind of get a little break. Southern Minnesota, kind of. You're on the Fritz edge. But if you're in northern Minnesota, that high pressure system sets right up here and then brings in a little shot of cooler air, guys. Cool, dry air, actually. But it'll actually be very nice next week. But then again, next week, we get another round of juice. Another round of storms. Look at that. Another same place, almost same time. And look at that. tornado. It's going to be a bumpy couple weeks, guys. June is looking very dicey. But look at that. Same setup. Just give it a couple days, and then it basically repeats. The one thing I do also want to cover real quick, precipitation amounts, okay? Some of you guys have seen upwards of over 10 inches in the last couple weeks, or in the last week, I should say. But look at that. A good widespread amount, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, some spots 8 inches in northwestern Wisconsin, good lord. And then like southeastern or southwestern Iowa, I should say 6 inches. So it's going to be a wet one. We should actually look at forecast here. I know the 6 to 10 day precip outlook is a very 50%, 50% abnormal precipitation amounts, guys. So again, I will just recap one more time for Friday's setup. I just want to be clear. If storms do fire along this warm front sector, we will have a very crazy day. If you think yesterday was, wild with 14 confirmed tornadoes, preliminary, this will put this to shame. So again, if storms can fire Friday and this storm system still stays on track, the trough doesn't eject too early, everything comes together, the sun comes out, it will be a very bad day for people. So stay sky aware, stay tuned to the channel. I do appreciate all the subscribers. You guys mean a lot. Just be prepared for Friday. I'll make another video probably Thursday. Depending on where this sets up Friday, I will likely be chasing, but I do work Saturday. Gotta be due diligent, can't be driving, 4-5 hours away. Maybe I can. I'm just kidding. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you staying all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. I appreciate any type of feedback. We will see you in the next episode, hopefully soon, with another update as this wicked June continues to unfold. So we'll see you next time here at Verns Valley.